Hi, here we are at another Tom Wills production. We're here to set up a Philmont tarp, the Philmont way. What we've done so far is just spread out the tarp. We've also just untangled any of the ropes that might have gotten tangled. As you can see here, we run a ridge line directly under the tarp, the entire length of it. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the rope, fold it over, and feed it through the grommet. And then we're going to use a little stick to hold it in place. And the reason we do that is if we get a lot of wind or anything of that nature, the stick's going to break versus ripping the tarp itself. Once setting up the tarp and you have a prevailing wind, you always want to put one corner into that wind, so once again it's not going to get the full force of the wind coming in here. Once I've got the stick there, we want to taut underneath, not necessarily especially tight or loose, just nice and taut. Then we take a pole, thank you. Either trekking poles work or any of the Philmont poles work as well. Then we're going to tie a lark's head. Easy enough. And put it on the top of the pole. Notice that we're not putting the tarp above someone's head so you can actually walk under there. The rationale behind that is the higher the tarp is, the less surface area you're going to have underneath to store your stuff. Because if you get any kind of wind, you're going to lose area underneath the tarp. So this is going to give us plenty of room to store our stuff. Once this is done, we want to take the end lines here, and we're going to stake in the two ends. And then after that, we're going to stake in the sides. So it often works well if somebody holds it, while somebody else oh, we got to do the other side. And then you want the poles pretty much straight, but possibly leaning out just a little bit to add some stability. Notice that we have a large number of people working on this, and that just makes it a whole lot easier. You can set this up with just 2 or 3 people, but it's a lot more work, and those people kind of have to run around and do a lot of different things. Let me probably tighten it just a little bit more. There we go. Once the ridge line is tight, everybody just grabs the corners, and if you notice what has been happening here is the rope has just been threaded between all the grommets. This allows us to have nice loops here, and we can tighten them. On the corners, we have taut line hitches, so we can either loosen or tighten it depending on what our need is. So we can just stretch it out and stake it in. Notice it's nice and taut, there aren't any major issues here. If we need to, we can always go back and adjust it or anything like that. And that's the setup of a Philmont tarp.